Proud and honoured, you know, and the people that sent them back were fools, and also they weren't really they were doing it so publicly that they obviously wanted to be known what kind of fools they were, or they would have just done it privately. And most of them got it sent military MBEs back, which is for killing people, and ours was civil, which was for making people happy. So I think we've got more claim to have one.
There was an Australian fellow well, there was an article in the paper in Britain about an Australian fellow, and he had everything. He had MBE, OBE, DSO, the lot, and he was saying how great it was. You know, and all these other people, I mean, they just got one thing for shooting somebody, but the fellow who had the works, the whole lot, he agreed with us getting the thing.
He was a good cobber.
It's been a fine day in Australia, and you haven't been able to get out. There were talks that you were going to barbecues to see an Australian rules football match, etc., but you're still in the hotel.
Well, we never watch football matches anyway, but we like to go out. But it's a bit difficult, isn't it?
Yes, I believe tonight you're going to watch yourselves on television, and then you're going to listen. Your show will be broadcast tonight. You're aware of that?
Yes, we know that. We saw you last night recording it.
What did you think of the reaction of the crowd here in Adelaide?
Great, that's all you can say. People give it. It's marvellous. It was, It was wild, man. Wild, baby.
Wild, babe. Woo!
Keep going.
It's Mad Mal. He's back again.
Playing mad monkey business.
Yeah.
Cut that out, Mal.
Cut that out, Mal. We've had enough of that.
Listen, can we get this telegram in?
Oh, yes.
See, there's a telegram here that says, "Did you see Welcome Beatles nearing landing? Reply, Julie Hodgkinson, Barton Girls Technical High School." Oh, we did see it. So we want to thank you all. We saw it out of the plane just as we were coming in the schoolyard, and we saw you all jumping up and down. And we were waving, but you couldn't see us. So thanks very much.
Well, all over the Western world, John, Beatle music is accepted, and it's tremendous music. You make beautiful music together. There's one place you haven't been, and that's the Soviet Union.
Yes, I know. They seem to think we're kind of capitalist trick or something. They keep writing about us. But, it doesn't really matter. I don't think they can afford to buy records there anyway, can they?
John, this book of yours has developed into a bestseller. Have you any ideas about another book?
Well, I'll just sort of carry on writing, and when I've got enough, it'll be another book. That was what happened before. Just so I happened to add enough pages for a book.
Have any of you Beatles ever been in the army?
No,
National Service?
We don't like armies and things like that.
What do you think of this trend in England now with the mods and rockers?
I think there's no harm in it, except for when they get out of hand, But it's something to do.
Yes, it certainly is. They clash during the summer months in England, apparently, not in winter.
I think that there used to be those clashes anyway, only they didn't have separate dress on, I'm sure these things are built up a lot bigger than they are.
Well, in Australia we have rockers and surfies at the moment in Sydney. The surfies hang around the beaches and the rockers ride motorbikes.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty similar deal. Have you got a barber?
Not a personal one.
You'd have to get a trim every so often, would you, John?
Well, I need a trim at the moment, but I can't find anybody I'd trust.
We're talking to the Beatles.
Are we? He knows, doesn't he? After 3 weeks, he's called on. He spotted us straight away. As soon as he walked in the room, he said, "We're talking to the Beatles," like that. Nobody told him. Great. I'm just using my imagination. Your imagination of it. Elucidating on the problem. Oh. Do you mind? I don't really mind, John. Well, as long as you don't mind, we'll carry on, will we?
Can we elucidate on your film and the songs therein, and do you have a favourite song in the film called A Hard Day's Night?
And I loved it. And I love her. Yeah, I love
do you like that?
I love it. And the way you sing it knocks me out. And the way that camera goes over your head. Oh, you should see that shot of Wilson. I thought, hello. I like If I Fell. If I Fell. I like that one as well. All about that one. It's nice. But they're all nice. They're all quite. I like them. They're very big-headed about their tunes. It's amazing. It's not big-headed, isn't it? The man asked us a simple. He asked us if we liked them. Why is Ringo picking on me? Listen, not picking on you, John. You are, Ringo. No, I'm just sitting here trying to do an interview with Rob Bodgers. I'm your friend. And here you go, picking on me in public. I'm not picking on you. Believe me, John. Well, I hope we can call a truce, Ringo. Well, John, can't go on like this. One of us will have to go. You come in. Hello, everybody listening. This is George Harrison of the Bottles. Hello, everybody. As Bob would say, this is John Lennon of the Beatles saying... Hello, everybody. This is Paul McCartney speaking. Very, very correct. Hello, everybody. This is Ringo speaking. Right. Correct.
No, right.
Correct.
I'm changing it.
You're still picking on me, Rick.
I'm not picking on you, John. You keep trying to put words into my mouth.
I know, because there's nothing coming out.
In 1963 and 4 and 5, when the Stones were the group that was coming up hard and strong behind the Beatles, were you all friends?
Yeah, we went to see them at, I believe the place was called Crawdaddy in Richmond. And immediately we started hanging around London. The Stones were just up and coming in the clubs then, and we knew Giorgio through Epstein, and we went down and saw them and became good friends. And the story on I Want to Be Your Man, which we virtually finished off in front of them, because they needed a record. They'd put out Come On by Chuck Berry, and they needed a quick follow-up. And we went down. We met Andrew Oldham, who used to work for us, or used to work for Epstein, and he'd then gone with the Stones and probably got them off Giorgio Gomelski, and he came to us and said, have you got a song for him? We said, sure. You know, and we thought, because we didn't really want it ourselves, which is one way of putting it. We went in, and I remember teaching it to him, you know, and the whole story of it, which helped my memory of it, because it all fades away, is in that book on Mick, which Mick's not keen on. I understand that, but
that's what Tony Scaduto book?
Yeah. But it's all right for people who they're not writing about those books. You know, if it was about me, I wouldn't like it probably either. But I must say, I raced through it for all the juicy bits like everybody else, right? And it's very interesting. I don't think it really harms him. You know, it shows that he knows what he's doing, which is cool. I don't think he did anything to Brian Jones either. We hung around in two separate periods. One was when they were initially still playing in the clubs. Brian Jones came over and said, are you playing a harmonica or a harp on Love Me Do? Because he didn't know how, he knew I got this bottom note, and he suspected I said a harmonica, you know, with a button, which wasn't real funky blues enough, you're supposed, but you couldn't get Hey Baby licks on a blues harp, and we were also doing Hey Baby by Bruce Chanel at that time. And then the later period is when we were both sort of riding high, and there was a discotheque scene in London, and the main club we all went to was the Ad Lib. There was a couple more, but they were never as big, Bag of Nails, but we used to just go in there and dance and talk music and generally get drunk and stoned and high. And one of the records we always played was in the Ad Lib itself, folks, with all of us sitting there listening and dancing, looking super stoned, and the record was called Daddy Rolling Stone by Derek Martin, which The Who later did a sort of version of, like the English usually do of these great records. Not too good, that's including us.
This was an American record?
Oh yeah, another great American record. That's all we ever played, American records. There was no such thing as English records those days. And you know that bit about we changed everybody's hairstyles, but something influenced us, whatever's in the air, to do it, you know? And pinpointing who did what first, you know, doesn't really work. We were part of whatever the 60s was, and we were like the ones that were chosen to represent whatever was going on the street. It was happening itself, you know. It could have been somebody else, but it wasn't. It was us and the Stones and people like that. And here we all are, you know.